Hey everyone, welcome to my butterfly gardening channel. In this episode, I'm going to be creating a little raised container garden filled with host plants for eastern black swallowtails. In a previous video, I showed you this raised planter that I put my rue in, and I showed you an eastern black swallowtail was already laying eggs on it. Well, I added 2 more planters, and I'm going to go ahead and fill up the rest of them with some random, not looking too pretty host plants that I've gathered up here. These are all little ones that I either purchased, like this one from Joyful Butterfly, and these 2 here, but they have already been eaten by caterpillars. And then I have some other ones that I grew from seed, but they're very small plants and have also been eaten by caterpillars. So we're just going to gather all these together and have a nice little row of potted host plants. And I'll be showing you some of the caterpillars in just a little bit. I've already put some soil into this planter, so I'm going to go ahead and plant up some of the plants I gathered here, and then we'll fill the other planter. And as we're working, we'll have a little chat about these plants and the butterflies. This is a bronze fennel. So a host plant is a plant that butterflies lay their eggs on, and when the eggs hatch, that is the plant that the caterpillars have to eat. They can't just eat any plant, and every type of butterfly has different plants that are host plants. Host plants for the eastern black swallowtails are in the carrot family and include fennels, rue, parsley. This right here in this pot, I actually have 3 little parsley plants. I'm just going to kind of break them up and place them in there so they can grow to be their own plant and don't need to compete for resources. And then I'll just top it off with a little bit more soil. There we go. It's not looking pretty, but it'll grow back and it will serve its purpose. These planters are the raised beds that I got back in the Amazon Prime Days sale, and I like them because they have drain holes, and at the base of the planters there is space, so the water goes down into a little holding space and then it can drain out so the soil doesn't get waterlogged. And I've used these in a couple other places in my garden and they're really working out well, and I still have more to use too. Look how sad this little plant looks. This is one I got from Joyful Butterfly. Love them. I have an affiliate link to them in the description of all my videos. If you want to check out their site or place some orders, I'd love it if you use my link, but you don't have to. Here's another one. You can see it's been well eaten. I do want to caution you, when working with rue, it can be a skin irritant. It actually got me this time, well, not like today this time, but it got me, and it can give you a rash, an itchy, burny kind of rash. I just put Aquaphor over it for a few days and then it felt so much better. I think it's because normally it doesn't bother me, but I think it's because I was taking cuttings and maybe some of the cut pieces scraped on my skin. I'm really not certain. But I just want to let you know that to be careful when working with it. You might want to wear gloves, or you might want to avoid it altogether if you have sensitive skin, since there's plenty of other host plants for these adorable little caterpillars to munch on. You can actually see the remnants of my irritation here. It almost looks like scratches, but it was much more significant looking than this. And here I am out here not wearing gloves again, just because I'm not a gardener who likes gloves. However, I am being more careful and I'm not working with any cuttings. So hopefully we'll be okay. All right, so we've got 2 planters planted. I have one more. I need to, do you see what's there? There's a chrysalis there. It's empty. It's just the empty shell of a eastern black swallowtail chrysalis. I'm gonna trim this porterweed away so this planter will have a little bit more space. But I tested this root here because root has not done well for me. I'm in Florida, I'm zone 10A, and it usually hasn't held up, so I haven't used rue in a while, but it provides so much food as opposed to the little teeny tiny fennel stems that it lasts a lot longer when you're feeding caterpillars. So I decided to try it again, but this time I've got it potted and it's in a part sun, a little bit of sun, and then filtered sunlight through the privet senna and the porterweed that are right here. And that seems to be doing well. This plant, every day I look at it because it's right outside my garden room door and it's looking good. So I'm really pleased about that. And that's one of the reasons why I want to put these planters here, because they are right outside my garden room door. It makes it so easy to run out and get cuttings for the little munchers. And if you'll notice, this fennel right here has some eggs on it, this tiny little plant. I've only got 3 caterpillars right now and they are larger. So I will probably put this in my garden room and just raise these guys when they hatch. By then, the 3 guys I have will probably have pupated. If you're new to my channel, you need to know that I'm trying really, really hard to only take in 4 or 5 caterpillars of each species that I raise, mostly swallowtails. This year I haven't been raising, since early spring I stopped raising monarchs. They're sustaining their own in my garden. Gulf fritillaries, zebra longwings, the skippers, they're all sustaining their own little colony in my garden. I don't bring any of them into race, but the swallowtails, they seem to be lower in number, and so I bring in a few to raise and also to take photographs of them to share on my channel and for videoing purposes. But I'm not like raising a whole lot and releasing them. I'm really trying to stick to my 4 to 5 sometimes though. Sometimes things happen, but I think I'm doing pretty good. Don't you think I'm doing pretty good today? I've got this little teeny tiny bronze fennel. We're just gonna put that right in the center there. And I'm gonna go get some more soil to fill in around all of these plants. And then I've got this teeny tiny parsley I'm gonna put in here in the first planter that we did. Okay, now we're gonna walk down to my main garden and I'll show you where I have some of their host plants planted in the ground in my actual garden too. This is where we just let nature do its thing, although occasionally a caterpillar gets snatched off their plant and taken in by me because they're just adorable. So down here where I have our seating area, our garden viewing area, because we're fancy, right back here, I actually have some rue that's potted, but I think I want to get it in the ground just so I can test some and see how it does in the ground. And then you can see my host plants back here. Look at this bronze fennel. Now this one I'm not trimming down because I'm letting it go to seed. You can see it's flowering, but it's all just now starting to grow back from the last big munching session that occurred out here. And let me tell you, this fennel is not a fast grower. So that's why I'm glad to be incorporating the rue, because you can see I don't have a lot to feed them. Here's a parsley. While we're here, I know this is off topic, but I just spotted this little guy. This is a pipevine swallowtail on my hanging basket of Woolly Dutchman's pipevine. And these become the most beautiful butterflies, but we just had to stop and say hello because he's adorable. I also have a few fennel plants planted down back in here, and I'm not sure they're going to survive back here. Hello, little Mr. Golf Fritillary. You're beautiful. So let's see if I can find them. Ah, here's one. This is like all there is of it. You can see the stem goes down, and that's it. I'm not sure, you know, if a female finds this and lays eggs on it, I'm not sure it will recover if this all gets eaten. So we're just keeping it hidden here. There's another one hidden over here somewhere too. Right here. Here's the stem. And look, it comes up to not much. So I don't even think that one's going to thrive. So the parsley and the bronze fennel and sweet fennel are very easy to grow from seed, but what I found is they take forever. They take forever to regrow, they take forever to grow from seed. If you're wanting to get started right away, I'd recommend just going ahead and buying some full-grown plants. Like again, you can get them on Joyful Butterfly. You can also pick them up in the herb section at like Lowe's and Home Depot, but there you have to be concerned about whether or not they use pesticides. So I would order from somebody that grows it just specifically for use in a butterfly garden as Joyful Butterfly does. You will not be disappointed in your order from them. They just do a fantastic job shipping their plants. So let's go see some of the adorable little guys. All right, this is a cutting of rue, and it has two, I would say these are third or fourth instar. I'm not a master of instars. I'll tell you why for these guys in a minute. Eastern black swallowtail caterpillars. So the cool thing about these guys is every time they molt, which means shed their exoskeleton, they look different. They're fascinating. Most caterpillars look the same and they're just bigger, but these guys look totally different. So people who pay attention to such things would know which instar these are. I just look at them and go, oh, they're so cute, and I feed them until they pupate. I do know they're not the final instar because those ones are more green and they're a lot chunkier. But aren't they just adorable? They're beautiful little caterpillars. They are little characters. And if you ever raise them, you'll see they have little personalities. So there you go. What's not to love? And the butterflies are gorgeous. I don't have a butterfly in my garden right now. Otherwise, I would show you. But at the end of this video, I will put some pictures up so you can see what an Eastern black swallowtail butterfly looks like in case you're not familiar with them. I also want to add That rue does very well as cuttings. Just take shorter stems, not super long stems, and the leaves hold up. To me, they hold up much better than fennel and parsley, which is another reason why they're a plus. Now let's take a little stroll through my garden loop. There's my Florida native wildflower garden with a little skipper, long-tailed skipper. Enjoying the starry rosinweed. Beautiful wetland garden with Orangeio integrifolia with a lizard on it again today. In my last video, we were looking at a lizard on it. And here's the second wetland garden that does have some potted plants that are not wetland plants. This is the garden space we're going to be working on soon, where we put all those potted native wildflowers that I'm going to add and redo. I'm so excited to start on this project. So you'll be seeing that in future videos. If you're not subscribed, subscribe so you know when I put it up. Here is my potted flower garden. Everything in here is in pots and it gets changed up frequently as things thrive and go dormant. I just change everything up, so we've always got some good flowering plants in here. And here is another section of flower garden, mainly my red pentas. But I do have some other plants in here, including porterweed and the bright orange flowers, Mexican sunflowers. And then we just loop our way back up to the front patio where we just were, if we walk down that path. And then up there is my potted tree house where I have potted trees in a little raised deck tree house. Then back behind my garden viewing area, there is a whole host of host plants back in here for a variety of butterflies. Oh, look who I just saw up here. Look, there's some zebra longwing caterpillars, and they're adorable. I love it when they have those little long spikes. That one recently molted. That's Florida state butterfly. Oh, here's some more here. And their host plant is maypop passion vine, or in my case, I use passiflora incense, which is a hybrid of maypop passion vine and another one. The other one is a Texas native passion vine. All right, well, my name is Susan, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please tap the like button. If you want to learn more about butterfly gardening, then subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. I can't wait to chat with you in the comments.